Hey guys, what's up? Game Pizza Boy here. Welcome back to the Pizza Party. Good to see you all. I'm back for another awesome video. I was going on hiatus because I was on vacation, so I had to get a nice little break. But we're now ready to get back into some business right now. Haven't done a video in a little bit right now, but we do got some big news right now. We're gonna be going over right now is the Overwatch 2 retail patch notes that was just announced on May 9th yesterday. So I thought about just kind of go through it, and this is my first time to be reading it. You'll get to see my first reaction, seeing it, kind of get my thoughts on it, have some fun chatting with you guys in the comments. You know, just have a good time talking about this stuff. So let's get right into it. Let's have some fun, of course. But before we begin, if you do enjoy this time, I'm here at the Pizza Party and want to show your support. Hit that like button. Make sure you comment down below. Tell me what are your thoughts so far on these patch notes. Definitely let me know. I like to hear your thoughts on it. And don't forget to subscribe as well. Also, don't forget to go check out all my different socials down in the description below if you want to catch everything going on for the Pizza Party, especially when I go live on twitch.tv/gamingpizzaboy. So definitely go check it out there. All right, without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's discuss some patch notes. All right, here we are right now, ready to get this party started. Let's go and get right into it and talk about some cool Overwatch 2 retail patch notes on May 9th. 2023. So there's gonna be a lot to discuss, which I'm really excited to read as I'm about to go through blind, like I said. So could be interested to see what is exactly in here. So let's get right into it. First up, we're gonna read is about event updates, and they mentioned the Star Wars Galactic Rescue. Basically, this kind of like cool Star Wars like funny little theme they've been doing lately right now. Also with some cool skins you can get during the battle pass, which make sure you guys keep up the grind on that right there if you want to go get some of those cool skins, including that cool Sigma Emperor. Galactic Emperor skin. It looks really dope. I still have to get it, so I have to go get it soon. But anyway, battle for the fate in this new 4-point assault mode. Side with the Watcher Rebels alongside the mighty Bonebreaker to rescue 3CH0 from the Infinite Galactorus starship. Or serve this infiltrate Empire and use the starship security systems to defend against the intruders. Your choice will decide the fate of the galaxy, for whichever side wins more battles by the end of the event will reign supreme. Complete event challenges to unlock limited time cosmetics like the Asteroid Wrecking Ball epic skin, and as well as 50,000 Battle Pass XP. Gee, man, that's crazy. So as you can guess right there, we're going to be getting a pretty big event right here. It's going to be a new event called Star Wars Galactic Rescue, basically what this whole theme for this season is. And basically it's going to be like a kind of a choice of two teams. Either one side will be part of the Empire to basically use the power of these security systems of the starship to defend against intruders, and the other side are basically the rebels that are trying to fight against the Empire. Basically, you can see some Star Wars vibe in that, which is pretty cool as usual. Whoever wins the big event right here, similar to the Battle of Olympus, where we'll see which like hero does a lot more. In this case, which team does a lot more, or which side will earn basically will reign supreme and probably will earn some big rewards. So. Pretty big moment right there, as well as, like I said, it lists exactly what we're going to be getting. So we'll be getting some cool limited time cosmetics, including the skin for Wrecking Ball. That's epic. The Asteroid Wrecking Ball skin. So it's a nice little cool skin right there. Sounds like it. And as well as 50,000 Battle Pass XP. So for anyone who's just grinding for it and trying to get the Battle Pass done, this is your chance. I will be personally going to be grinding for it myself, just so I can get as much done with the Battle Pass and get that final Galactus Emperor Sigma skin again. Just so cool right there. Okay, moving on next, we also got the Battle for Olympus return. Speaking of the devil right there, to celebrate Zeus and Junker Queen's victory from Season 2 Battle for Olympus event, we are bringing back the game mode for a limited time, including an all-new Team Deathmatch version of it as well. To further commemorate the victors of Season 2, a statue of the god herself has been erected in Helios. So that's cool. So the event is back again for a limited time for all you fans out there who do like Battle for Olympus, and there will be also a limited time event of it in Team Deathmatch mode, so you can enjoy that as well. And as well, the statue of course, Zeus Junker Queen will be erected in Helios for you guys to see as well. So that's pretty cool. All right, moving on next is some general updates. So now we're getting some very important gameplay details. First up, they mentioned is the ping system. So apparently they're going to be working on some stuff with the ping system, which they do mention here. Group up can now be used while dead. Okay, so you can do it now, nice. So if you die, and everyone's kind of getting spread out a lot, and everyone's dying, we can all just mention, you can still mention immediately to group up. So that's pretty cool. Added a new setting to the controls, communication, ping, options, and enable contextual comms wheel. When enabled, the setting will change as group up and need healing to use alternate comms when aiming at allies. This setting is off by default. Okay, so kind of like a new way to kind of push a little more when aiming at allies, besides just simply just switching over to say group up or need healing, you know, something like that basically. But the setting is defaultly off, so it's off by default, so you have to turn it on for yourself, guys, to try it. So I might have to see that for myself a little bit. Also, Jungle Queen can now ping targets through surfaces that her knife is stuck in the same way that Zenyatta can ping targets his Discord can attach to. I like that. That's actually a really cool idea right there. Cool feature. This will help encourage a little more ping when you're playing Jungle Queen, when you throw your knife, and it can actually give a good incentive to actually tell people to basically just go off like that and then just go take out the guy that they got with the knife. So I like that. Brilliant. Brilliant indeed. I like that. That's really cool. Also, moving on next is the push game mode update. So apparently the push game mode, just getting a little update right there. Apparently the respawn time for players is increased by 2 seconds from 10 to 12 now, while their team's full respawn location is activated. Okay, so the developers comment about this, saying that full respawn locations were proven to be too advantageous for the team with the lead, making it a bit too difficult for the disadvantaged team to mount a comeback. Okay, so they believe that the situation with those typical locations during the forward game mode, the push ones, were proven to be a little bit difficult for the, be very much advantage for the team that's in the lead now, making it just challenging for the disadvantaged team to make a combat. So they're now increasing the time for respawn for players from their team's forward spawn location now from 10 to 12 seconds to kind of get a little more better advantage there. So that might be a little nice right there to see, I guess. That would help balance things out a little bit. I'm not so completely sure what everyone thinks right there. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but it's gonna be, I think that's kind of an understandable situation. They mentioned something from matchmaking here, though. They mentioned MMR DK system has received multiple improvements aimed at more quickly and accurately recalibrating players when they return from a long period of inactivity. Okay, so the MMR typically in comp and stuff like that, now the DK system for that has now received basically multiple improvements now to maybe quickly and better accurately recalibrate players when they return from long period inactivity. Okay, so it's better for people who go inactive for quite a bit. The MMR DK system will be a little more better now to help put where the player should be in, I guess, in matches and ranks. So I guess that's what I think it means right there. So that's pretty cool, I guess. A nice little improvement right there, especially for those who are inactive. So I can see that very much indeed better. I think it means like for inactive people that are in game, I think it means. At least that's my guess. If that's the case, that's pretty good though. If it just means in general for like inactive, like if you just don't play a match for a while bit, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that it means like inactive people who are in game. So probably that's what it means basically. Also, competitive updates. The 2023 competitive deathmatch season begins on May 16th. So guys, right now today, from 6 days away from today, we'll be ready for the 2023 competitive deathmatch season. So big update right there, very much. So pretty interesting to see what that goes. All right, moving on next is now time for some hero updates. All right, time to see what they did with our heroes. And it looks like we're kicking off right now with Junker Queen. My girl right there, my favorite tank right there. Let's see, Junker Queen. So the developers comment that these changes right now will increase Junker Queen's frontline presence by increasing her self-healing and offensive sustainability. We also increase the Jagged Blade's projectile size so it's more consistent to land. Okay, so it seems like she got quite a buff right here, a very big buff. So her scattergun maximum ammo increased from 6 to 8. So 8 shots now from the maximum ammo there. The Jagged Blade projectile increase size from 0.15 to 0.20 meters. What? So now it's a little bit more. It's a little more sizable right there for the projectile when you throw it. So it's gonna probably hit someone very much easily now. Oh my god. Rampage now deals about 40 impact damage, but the wound damage decreased from 100 to 60. Okay, so I guess they wanted to make it a little kind of like a little bit of a nerf right there for Rampage's wound damage. I guess because wound is very effective in many ways, so they want to probably nerf it down for a bit. But they did add a bit, an extra 40 damage to that bit, so that you can at least get some damage off the star right there. So it's kind of like a buff nerf situation there. But I still think that Rampage will still be quite effective right there. And Adrenaline Rush, which is her was that like her that was like her like was it her passive ability? I think it was, yeah, passive. Adrenaline passive healing multiplier increased from 1.25 to ×2 damage dealt by wounds. Oh, okay, yeah. For that situation with whenever you deal with wounds damage, I forgot, with wounds damage, it basically has like a certain multiplier that keeps going based on every time you stack wounds, like if you melee them or basically get a you slash them with your axe right there basically, or basically use your knife. So they increased it to ×2 basically, so it's twice, just double right there pretty much at that point. So that's quite a buff right there too as well. So Jungkook, we got quite a buff right there. I'm pretty interested to see how it goes with that Adrenaline Rush a little more, and how Rampage dealt with now, knowing it's now just 60 wound damage now, and they just add a 40 impact damage just from when you go into the enemies right there. So I want to see how that kind of goes, but the Adrenaline especially most. But Jungkook got a buff. Yeah, Jungkook got a buff right there. That's pretty interesting right there. I'm pretty excited to see where that goes pretty much. All right, moving on is Orisa. So Orisa got, it looks like a small buff right here. Developers' comments said that Orisa often gets a lot of value with her abilities, but she's underperforming compared to other tanks. Increasing her weapon damage will make her more of an immediate threat after closing the distance with the enemy team. So they increased the damage of the augmented fusion driver, her main weapon, from 12 to 13 damage. So now it's about 13 damage now completely for that. So a slight buff right there. It's not really I think a very serious buff right there, or like really high up there, but it's definitely a small one that will help out a little bit. So 13 damage now increase to the augmented fusion driver, so she'll have a little more effectiveness. I'm going to see how that plays out a little more. I'm definitely excited about that. Winston, developers comment that it's difficult to deal full damage with Winston's leap due to needing to land almost directly on the enemy hero. They increasing this range will improve its consistency. Okay, so they're basically explaining that it's very difficult sometimes to land the full damage from Winston's leap. You can do like the ground slam from the jetpack attack, but obviously you have to land directly on the enemy hero for that. So it looks like they are increasing the range of it. So the damage radius before fall off begins increased from 1 to 1.3 meters. So that means it's a little bit, it's a small buff right there to make it easier for you to definitively hopefully get a little hit on enemies when using the jetpack ability, so you can deal the full damage at least to an enemy. So that's nice right there. So you can at least hopefully land those hits pretty easily with Winston's jetpack right there. So that does deal damage on the ground. So it's just gonna be like just on the spot right there. But this might be a little bit more better now for that. Wrecking Ball. Developers comment that adaptive shields gives Wrecking Ball a lot of leeway in a fight due to its duration. This change to adaptive shields limits his survivability during the prolonged engagements. Okay, so basically for this, it looks like it's kind of like a basically to make it where the adaptive shields were basically Wrecking Ball, which basically it will allow him to shield himself a little more better and stay effectively in the fight more easily. They explain that it has a lot going on due to its duration, so now the duration is basically nerfed. So it went down from 9 seconds to 7 seconds, so it will last for 7 seconds until it is completely gone. I guess that's not bad at least. I mean, typically, if you have a lot of good players, they can really effectively just get rid of the health and get rid of that shield pretty much, but that's a nice nerf a little bit so that people just, so that the Wrecking Ball players don't really have for too long, especially when trying to get back and stuff like that. So this will basically get rid of it pretty easily. That's kind of a small nerf, I guess. Pretty small, nothing too serious. All right, moving on. Now we're done with the tanks. Now we're doing damages now. Echo is getting something right here. So let's see what Echo's got. The developers comment that the following changes increase the flexibility of Echo's duplicate ultimate and shift some of its focus away from the allure of building multiple copy ultimates in a single use. Okay, so trying to move the idea of just simply trying to make flexibility mode with Echo's duplicate ultimate and making it more not about just simply having multiple copies of ultimate of different ultimate people and stuff like that more. Or this puts more of an emphasis on choosing a duplicate target based on the hero's overall utility for a given situation. With the benefit of increased survivability due to transforming. Echo will give her ultimate more frequently, but it will be more difficult to generate the copy hero's ultimate. Okay, so they want to make it more effective as a way to kind of be flexible when to use Echo's duplicate, and to make it more beneficial to help increase survivability due to transforming, and also let them like choose a duplicate target based on the hero's overall utility based on the given situation now, and less more of just simply trying to make it more easy to simply just copy a certain hero's ultimate. So they reduced the ultimate cost for duplicate by 25%. So that's a big buff right there. So you're gonna have an easy chance to get duplicate up pretty easily right there. But the ultimate generation now has been decreased from 5.5 to 4 times while duplicate is active. So they basically added a kind of a buff for getting your ultimate, but a nerf to getting the ultimate when copied. So you will have a much better chance now to get your ultimate ready to go into duplicate mode and choose who you want, but it's going to be a lot of nerf now, so you can't just get an easy ultimate very easily from any of your duplicate copies right there. So 4 times now what it is. Not like a very crazy nerf, but it's still a nerf nevertheless. And I can imagine you're probably not going to be able to easily get any ult. So if you copy Reinhardt, you're not going to get his pretty basically his little slam ultimate, or Junkrat's ult, or anyone's ult in just general. It's going to be a little bit more challenging now to get ult when copied. So pretty interesting right there. My boy Junkrat. All right, Junkrat, what do you got right here? So the developers say that the previous adjustment to concussion's mine maximum damage lowered the effectiveness of Junkrat's grenade, and mine comes too much, so we're increasing the damage of move slightly. So they're reversing that decision before when they nerf the damage of the concussion mine, because they want to make it a little more not too easy to just one-shot people very easily in that situation, and kind of just focus on just getting them damage and then follow up with that a little bit more. So they increase it from 100 to 110. So it's not up to as it was much as before, but it's a little bit more increase. So a little slight damage buff increase right there for it. So you should have a little more effectiveness to take out your enemies right there. So that might be a little bit nice right there. So small buff right there, small buff. I do like that indeed, pretty good. Moving on now, supports. Okay, so time for the supports. Now let's see what they got for our boys right here, supports. We can see a couple there right there. And first is Anna. Okay, Anna, probably one of my favorite healers. So Anna's survivability has improved significantly ever since the addition of the support passive. We are reducing the amount of healing provided by the biotic grenade explosions, as she doesn't need to rely on it for self-healing as much as before. So this is kind of a nerf right here now, pretty much, due to the fact that they think that because now with the support passive being added, they want to reduce it, as the reason for the bio-grenade explosion given the health is not need to be relied on, since she can just have self-healing as much as before. So the explosion healing has now been decreased from 100 to 60, so quite a nerf right there. So you only get 60 health just from the explosion when you throw the bio-grenade completely. So you're not gonna get a lot of that health, and so probably everyone knows this. And honestly, I guess that's fine by me, because like Anna is already a really effective healer in general, and the bio grenade really helps out a lot, especially with teammates, especially. So I can imagine you and many others are pretty much going to be just fine without this much health right there. So quite a nerf right there, quite a nerf. Baptiste, they explain that the immortality field provides powerful utility, but its long cooldown means that Baptiste often has to wait for the perfect opportunity to use it. We're decreasing its cooldown slightly to promote more flexibility in usage, though it will still be uncommon to see it more than once per engagement. That's fair enough right there. I see that they were trying to encourage more better to get a little more action with that because of how long it is, but not to make it more frequent and very much. I want to make it still be uncommon to see it more often. More than once after per engagement, but still at least more easy to frequent. So they decrease the cooldown, so small buff right there from 25 to 23 seconds. So completely a buff right there. Not a big one. I'm glad that for a reason, because it would be crazy if it went down to like from 25 to like to be 20 or 15. Because again, you don't want to make it that, because it is a really effective ability. So this is nice for now at least. So that's pretty good right now so far. I'll definitely want to experiment with it a little bit to see how that plays out, but I think it's a fine buff to me a little bit for Baptiste. All right, Kiriko. I like Kiriko a lot. All right, so let's see. So the developers explain that Kiriko sometimes accidentally interrupts her kunai reload with Ofuda, which is basically obviously, I think her little healing. Sorry, I just had a brain fart right there. With our Fuda, Kunai now reloads slightly sooner during the animation to mitigate this. In addition, there's now a hero option. Healing a Fuda cancels reload, which can be turned off to bypass the situation entirely. So they're adding an option, so you can choose if you want a healing Fuda to just cancel the reload if you want to, but you can also keep this thing on so that it won't, so that you don't have to worry about cancel reload if you want to reload your kunais anyway. And kunai reloads after 65% of the animation has completed, formerly 75%. So it's a little small buff right there for that. So you have a little more sooner time to just get that reload after the animation of your Fuda healing is done. So nice little thing right there. I do have issues like that sometimes where I'm trying to reload and it doesn't work very effectively. So I find that very nice right there. All right, so now, next is, of course, Lifeweaver, one of the new healers. I know there's a lot of changes I'm pretty sure you guys heard about lately right now. Some of the control changes, stuff like that, which we'll be looking to. But we got some pretty big stuff right here. And that is first is what the developer comments explain is something a little bit slightly right here. They mentioned already some stuff already enough as is. I think I covered it. I already covered it before in the video last before. But let's go and go through this right now because there is something right here we want to go through at this moment, and that is right now apparently involving Life Grip for Lifeweaver, and it explains that about Earth Shatter from Reinhardt is an ultimate where positioning is critical to effectively use, so we're adjusting it so that Reinhardt doesn't have their ultimate be effectively cancelled when Lifeweaver uses Life Grip. Okay, so small thing right there, just a little, I guess, like a fix right there. So Reinhardt is no longer a valid target for Life Grip during Earth Shatter, and using Earth Shatter will cancel Life Grip. So it's a kind of a way to kind of prevent, I guess, accidents happening with Lifeweaver's Life Grip or trolls to use Life Grip on you when you're going to use Earthshire as Reinhardt, so that's pretty cool. There's some other things they mentioned as well before, like the control stuff like that, which I've covered already in the video before already, but definitely that's exciting as it is, but this is nice too, at least. Just helped out very much for those Reinhardt players right there. They also mentioned here some hero option updates. In addition to the hero balance adjustments in this update, we are implementing multiple quality life settings for several heroes to give you the ability to custom tailor your experience of playing your favorite heroes. So let's see what they got. So they mentioned here some hero specific options for Diva, where you can choose by default, which is all by default, but you can choose to hide boosters, cancel text, and boosters timer. Doomfist, you on default, you can choose to have the hand cannon UI. Off by default, you can hold to use the power block. You can choose to hide the power block cancel text, hide the rocket punch meter, or hide the rocket punch cancel text. So some stuff right there. Orisa, hide the fortified timer, hold to use javelin spin, and hide javelin spin cancel text. Ramatra, toggle block, hide nemesis from cancel text. Relative aim sensitivity during nemesis form. Relative gyro aim sensitivity during nemesis form, which is only available on gyro supported platforms, of course. And annihilation cancel input. Reinhardt, relative aim sensitivity during barrier field. Relative gyro aim sensitivity during a barrier field, which is also only for gyro supported platforms. Hold to use charge, hide charge, cancel text. Roadhog, hide whole hog timer. For Sigma, Graviton Flux is now automatically cast when the timer runs out, so nice right into that. Winston, toggle secondary fire. Wrecking Ball, toggle quick melee during roll. Bastion, configuration artillery now automatically cast when the timer runs out, and relative aim sensitivity during reconfigure, and relative gyro aim sensitivity during reconfigure. Cassidy, hide Deadeye timer, hide the Deadeye cancel text. Echo, hold to use focusing beam, hide the flight cancel text, hide flight timer. Genji, hold to use deflect and hide the deflect cancel text. May where crowd freeze can now be canceled by pressing the action button again. So crowd freeze can be for that reason. Hold to use crowd freeze, hide crowd freeze cancel text, hide crowd freeze timer. Default ice wall rotation and ice wall confirmation inputs. Farah, toggle hover jets. Reaper, hold to use Wraith form, hide Wraith form cancel text, and Shadow Step confirmation input. Sombra, toggle hack. Symmetra, toggle secondary fire, hold to deploy sentry turret, to teleporter and photon barrier confirmation input. Default photon barrier rotation, and hide photon barrier timer. Torbjorn, hide for overload timer. Tracer, blink UI. Baptiste, default application matrix rotation, amplification matrix confirmation input, Brigitte, relative aim sensitivity during barrier shield, relative gyro aim sensitivity during barrier shield, and repair pack UI. Kiriko, healing of Fuda cancels reload, as we mentioned from above earlier. Light Fever, relative thorn volley aim sensitivity and relative thorn volley gyro aim sensitivity. Tree Alive confirmation input. Lucio now allows backwards walleye option to now be on by default. And you can also hold the crossfade options, change from off to on to off to hold for hold speed, for speed, hold for heal, you know, that stuff like that. Mercy, Catechus Blaster input, relative Catechus Blaster aim sensitivity, relative Catechus Blaster gyro aim sensitivity for the gyro type again, and Zenyatta Harmony and Discord Orb cancel reload and high transcendence timer. So a lot of good changes right there for a lot of toggling or on by off the default stuff like that. So that's pretty cool right there. I do like that very much indeed. There's also a lot of bug fixes here, which I'm not going to go through completely because there's a lot to go through, but I will obviously leave the patch notes in the description below if you like to go read it for yourself. So definitely go take a look at it and let me know your thoughts on that for sure indeed. But with that being said, guys, that's it for the video right there. A lot of big changes. I'm definitely excited, especially for Junker Queen quite getting a lot of buff right there. So that is especially my big one of the bunch right there. So definitely excited to see what all these changes go in clean Junker Queen. So let me know again your thoughts in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I appreciate all the support as always here on YouTube. And definitely again, guys, if you want to catch me whenever I go live on Overwatch 2, which we'll actually be doing on Thursday tomorrow at 12 p.m. CST, definitely go take a look in the description below and find the link and to my Twitch right there. It will be down below right there for sure. So definitely go take a look at that. As always, guys, thank you again so much for watching. I'm your host, Game Pizza Boy, host of the Pizza Party, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye, my friends. Keep on partying.